Michael has a question for us.
Hi, Minimalists. This is Michael from Cologne in Germany. And I have a question about a very personal item of clothing. 4 years ago, when my wife and I got married, I bought a custom wedding suit, and it cost me about 3,000 euros, which are around 3,500 US dollar today. I have even had our wedding date embroidered inside, and I had it designed so I could wear it again for future events. And not to forget, my parents paid half of it as a present for our wedding. But since then, I've lost a lot of weight, and the suit doesn't fit me anymore, and everything is just far too big now. So now it's just hanging in the basement and has been for the past 2 years already. Because it's tailor-made, I don't want to just throw it away or drop it off at a thrift store. And while the memories of our wedding day are in our minds and in our photos and videos, my wife still says, "Oh no, you can't get rid of your wedding suit." But to be honest, I can't see myself ever wearing it again. So my question is, can someone else derive new value from such a deeply personal item of clothing? Or do you have any other tips on what I could do with the suit? Thanks a lot and have a great day.
First off, Michael, congratulations. I'm assuming the weight that you lost is because you're on some sort of health journey. And I've gone through the same thing. I used to weigh about 80 pounds more than I weigh now. At one point, I lost 100 pounds by letting go of the excess weight, but really letting go of the excess habits. And I was facing a similar dilemma. I had a similar question. It wasn't about the suit for a wedding, but to me, that suit is a synecdoche for something much larger, a broader question. And that question is, should I keep these old clothes if they don't fit me anymore? And maybe another way that this is the way that I looked at it is this my backup plan for when I gain all the weight back? Why do I want that kind of backup plan? Now, obviously, with the suit is a little bit different from that, but for anyone else who's listening to this, and maybe Michael, you're even holding on to a bunch of clothes from yesteryear. I know I was. They were in my basement, and I had all these double XL shirts, like button-up shirts, like polos and T-shirts, and I'll just hold on to these just in case. You've heard me say it a million times. Just in case are the 3 most dangerous words in the English language. Just in case what? Right? Or even worse, this is one of those just for when items I definitely don't want. A just for when item is like, yeah, I'm going to hold on to this because I know I will use it. I have a box of screws in my toolbox. I don't want to use them today, and I'm probably not going to use them within the seasonality rule limits of 90 days. But I do hold on to them just for when I need them because I do need them from time to time. I also have a lot of consumables that are just for when items, My toilet paper, I don't buy just one square at a time or even one roll at a time. I buy an appropriately sized pack, like a 6-pack, or I can fit 12 underneath my sink, then I'll do that. So I don't have to go to the store regularly and buy more and more and more just for when items. But here, this just for when item is like, I guess I'll hold on to these clothes just for when I gain all the weight back, which is like I'm already lost, right? I've lost in my mind. I've accepted the fact that I can't retain these new habits that I've created. That's obviously not where you are, Michael, but you are struggling with letting go in the same sense. You're saying, hey, this doesn't fit me anymore. Maybe if it did fit you, I'd have a different answer for you. If it fit you, and you're like, oh yeah, I could still wear this on special occasions. Like there are events to which I could wear this. And I could use this once a year, 2 times a year, whatever it might be. I own a suit. I could get married in it. I could wear it to someone else's wedding. I could wear it to a funeral. I could wear it to a business meeting. I wear a suit and a pair of dress shoes. And that is a just for when item for me. And from time to time, I'll just put it on for my wife because she likes when I wear it. And so I'll even fit it within the seasonality rule as well. Have I worn this in the last 90 days? Or am I going to wear it in the next 90 days? And it forces me to wear it. That boundary makes it kind of fun and playful. But this is not something you can just play around with. You can't, you don't want to put on this giant suit. It's not going to look great on you. So you had a secondary question there. You really had 2 other questions. One is like, what will I do if my wife won't let me let go of this suit? Well, okay, well then you can give it to her if she wants to hold on to it, but what's she going to do with it, right? Is she going to use it? No, obviously not. But so she's not going to get any value from it. You're not getting value from it. It sounds to me like she's not getting any value from it. Now, could she potentially get value from it? Yes. I've talked to quite a few people over the years at our live events and on this podcast who take a piece of clothes from the past and turn it into some sort of piece of displayable art. I had one grandma who came to our event. She took a lot of, one woman who took a lot of like old quilts from her grandma and made her own quilt out of the old quilts. I've had other people take old pieces of clothing from different generations of their family and turn it into either a garment or a quilt or a piece of art you can display. You could take grandma's old quilt. I mean, I've seen quilts in museums. It's possible to make it an art piece in your home, to frame it intentionally, put it on a wall. So yes, the memories aren't in the things, the memories aren't in the suit. You said that perfectly. But that suit can trigger the memories. Now you already have pictures of you in the suit, and those pictures are fine for triggering the memories. But if you still wanted to do something with that suit, would it make sense for you to frame it? I've gone to several exhibits here in Los Angeles where you'll have different couture artists who will take old collections of theirs, and you have dresses or you have suits or you have shirts or you have smocks, you have all of these different things that they frame and display beautifully. And it takes that functional garment. It's no longer functional, but it's aesthetically beautiful. And beauty is essential. And so is there a way for this suit to beautify your home? I know the answer for me would be no. If I had an old wedding dress or an old suit, I wouldn't want it up on the wall in my home. It wouldn't mean that you're wrong if you do want that. It's just personal preference. It's my preference to have mostly bare walls in my home. But if that would add value to your life, if it would add a aesthetic beauty and be a great reminder for you, then I'm all for it. But the second part of that question is, if you're not getting any value from it, your family's not getting any value from it. In fact, it's extracting value from your life right now because it's taking up space in your home. That's usable space. But it's also taking up space in your mind. It's taking up space in your heart. I can tell that it's weighing on you a bit. You know what else is weighing on you? The sunk cost. You're like, it's $3,500. Yeah, it was. You spent it, right? You're not going to get that money back. Imagine if you spent $3,500 on a vacation or a honeymoon okay. You're not expecting to get that money back. You got the experience out of it. How wonderful is that? But it's also wonderful that by no longer clinging to it, maybe you could pass it on to someone else who would get value from it. Yes, you might have your name sewn into it, but that part can be removed by a tailor. Or you might know someone else who is looking for a suit, or you could simply donate it somewhere or sell it somewhere on consignment to someone else who is larger than you, that does fit into that suit. And if you let it go, that's the only time someone else can get value from it. I can assure you this: if you keep it in your home, just tucked away and hidden in an attic or garage or closet or on a hanger in your closet, it's just taking up space. You're not getting any value from it right now. If you do something with it in your home, you could potentially get value from it if that's your preference. Doesn't sound like something I would like to do. So if it were me, I'm letting it go. I'm going to figure out a way to sell it if I can get at least some money from it. You know, what if it's $100? What if it's $50? Wonderful. That's better than it sitting in my closet. The worst case scenario would be if you went and got a storage locker because you've run out of space in your home, and then you're going to go store it somewhere off-site. And now you're paying to retain this thing that is not adding any value to your life. Here's another way that I think about it. This is the way I think about all of my clothes. I call it there's three different rules they're actually the same rule, but it's three variations of the same rule. We have the poop rule, the spontaneous combustion rule, and the wouldn't replace rule. I invented the latter two, the spontaneous combustion rule and the wouldn't replace rule. In fact, Ryan Nicodemus did the spontaneous combustion one and the wouldn't replace rule. I'll talk about those. There's also this rule called the poop rule, which I just heard about. I think it was last year when Jordan Harbinger was on our show and he mentioned it. And I think it's a fun, playful way. I don't find it particularly that instructive, but it's a playful way to think about it. If that suit was covered in poop, would you try to clean it off? Would you take it to a dry cleaner? Would you spend hours scrubbing it? Or would you just get rid of it? Now, in this case, if it's covered in crap, you're probably going to throw it out. I'm not encouraging you to throw it out. I think there are more responsible things you can do with that suit. But I think that rule is instructive. If this crap is covered in crap, then it's still crap, and I want this crap out of my life. What's more useful for me is either the wouldn't replace rule or the spontaneous combustion rule. The latter is about the feeling. The former, the wouldn't replace rule, is about the practicality of it. If you were to lose that suit tomorrow, it disappeared. Someone stole it out of your home. Would you replace it? I think you know the answer to that. And however you answer that question, I think will tell you the direction in which you want to go practically. Are you going to spend the money to replace it? If so, then I would keep the suit. But I don't think you're going to replace that suit. The other way to look at it is to look at it from the emotional side of things. And that's when Nicodemus came up with the spontaneous combustion rule, right? If that thing were to spontaneously combust, that suit spontaneously combusted, how would you feel? What's that emotion in your body right now? Is it, "Aww"? If so, maybe that's instructive. But if it's, that sense of relief is a sign that I want to let go. I was talking to a friend this weekend. He and I went to high school together, and he just moved. He went through a breakup, and now he moved into this apartment by himself, and he's on his own again. And he's like, "Hey, I do a really good job of keeping things simple, except I realize I still have too many clothes. Why do I have so many clothes?" And there's this narrative. We heard it earlier with Tracy's question as well on page 1. Oh, these irreplaceable things. I feel like I couldn't replace this thing if I got rid of it. And that's just a story. My friend was telling me he's holding on to these 3 pairs of old jeans. They're like from J. Crew, but he said they're back when J. Crew used to make good clothes. You know, they're over a decade old. Back when they make good clothes, they're basically irreplaceable. I said, "Oh, really? If they went missing right now, would you, and you could replace them, would you?" He's like, "No, not really. I don't even like them that much anymore." Oh, okay. If they spontaneously combusted, how would you feel? Oh, man, I don't know. I mean, I like them. They're pretty comfortable, but like, I know they don't really look that good on me anymore. They're just kind of old. And, oh, okay. If I wouldn't replace them now, why am I still holding on to those things? Well, the only answer to that is the story that I tell myself. I'm telling myself a story that this is irreplaceable. Nothing's irreplaceable. It's a freaking pair of jeans. It's a suit. These things are replaceable. We know that you can replace these things. Now, of course, you can't replace the memories, but the memories are never in those things. The memories are in you. You can take photos of anything you're getting rid of and still have the triggers for those memories. But if I wouldn't buy it again, then I also wouldn't hold on to it.
Thanks for watching this highlight. If you'd like to check out another one, you can watch this clip here. Or if you'd like to watch the full episode for this highlight clip, you can check out this one here. Or you can dive into the full private podcast by subscribing via the Patreon link in the description for this video. Your Patreon support is what helps keep this podcast 100% advertisement free.